Hey y'all, today we're going to be doing sock toes. So I've got my size 3 needles, a large cable, and my sock yarn. Don't mind the kids, they're watching cartoons. I realized that the last sock toe video I had up doesn't really work, because I had my cracktastic needles. I was trying to do it and it wasn't really working. So we're going to show you guys how to cast on a sock and how to work the sock toe. And then the next 2 videos will be how to cast on multiples, and then how to cast on more than 2. How to cast on a pair, and then how to cast on more than 2. Okay? So let's unpack this puppy. We got our needles. We hold them just like this. We find about where we want to go. We put them in like that. So you see we've got just looped over, just draped over one. Then we're going to pull our tail back over. So we make a little X in the back. Okay? We're going to hold on to our yarn just like we would casting on anything else. But we want to keep our needles pretty close together. So we're going to go there. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Most socks will be 12. The cast on will be 12. I usually do 8 for the kids' socks, 12 for mine and my mom's, 14 for my dad's, and then 18 for my grandmother. So what we're going to do is, when we get to this point, we're just going to turn our work. Okay? This is what the back of it looks like. So what we're going to do, we're going to take the tail and bring it up and around. That's going to create the hole we need to go into when we start knitting. Okay? Now, we're going to slide these up. We're going to take this bottom needle, because that's where our yarn is. We're going to pull it up. Now remember, I knit continental. So I will start out, I will try to do this English, so you guys can see what I'm doing. Oh, split the yarn. Oh, I split it there. Okay. We're good. Just got to take that into account. 1. That needs to go down there. 2. Pesky cable. 3. Don't mind the stomping around. That's my middle. And there's big. And that's big. So we're going to knit all the way across. It's a little wonky right now. But, shush. But it's okay. Right this second. Okay. So we drop that one. We pull our needle up a little bit. Pull our stuff. Put it up on the needle. Okay? Okay? Shh. That's sister. And we're going to pull this one out and do the same thing here. We're just going to knit across. Okay?
I still like tight. Wait, I can't put that right up.
Okay, drop it. Pull it up a little bit. Turn our work. Okay, so we've got our first row. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to put our needles together, take our tail, and we're going to pull. Just a little bit. Okay, but we got to make sure our work's up on our needles, otherwise we're not going to be able to move much. Let me pull. That tightens up the stitches here. That tightens up our cast on. So now we are at an increase row. So what we're going to do is we're going to knit the first one. And then we're going to knit front back in the second one. Go through the front, flip it around, go through the back, and knit this way. And then we're going to knit on across. Two before the end. So we're going to knit all the way over to here. Okay? And we'll increase there again. So let's do this. I have a young man traipsing around behind me, so don't worry about it. See? See, we got 2 left. So here, we're going to knit, and knit front back is where you knit the front and don't pull it off. And then you stick it back through to catch the back leg. Yarn on and pull it through.
Mommy, I'm giving
Shh.
2 minutes.
And there we've got our first half of the increase done. Stick it back down on this side. Pull up this one. Now, this is about the time I start pulling this one tight when I put it around. So, I don't get holes in my socks. And then we knit front back here. Knit the front. Knit the back. Knit to 2 before the end, which will be down here. Don't mind the kids. It's kind of early and they're a little loud. And then we knit front, back, and then we knit. And this row is just knit around. Shh. Quit. My son's being loud. That's my diva boy. He acts like my grandpa. Like his great-grandpa. My boy will argue black as white if you let him.
What did that say?
And now he's being noisy just to annoy Mom. Because he knows I'm doing this.
What did that say?
So we just knit straight on around.
Did that say devil?
So yeah, like I said, I have 2 that are special needs. I have Big, and then I have Diva. Diva is academically autistic. And Big has mosaic Downs, so they've been about as good as they're going to get today. Because Pete forbid Mom be doing something. Shh. Go. So yeah, We're just knitting every stitch right now on our way around. Every stitch in this round. Flippin' kid. Drop that needle. Turn our work around. Now this row, what we're going to do, and pull it tight like normal. We're going to knit one, knit front back. Uh-oh. Knit to the last two.
What did that say?
Okay, we got two left. Now we're going to knit front back. Shh. I knit one. Quit.
I'm so scared of monsters.
See, our tail's over here, so that tells us that we've got this last half of this increase row to go. Quit! No, what you're trying to do is...
It has a monster.
Sorry about that, folks. I had to handle a boy. If you have kids, you understand. Whenever you're doing something, they want to be right in the middle of it. Alright. So I think we're knit front back in this row. Yeah, we are. So we're going to put it through the back. And knit it through the back loop. And go to 2 before the end. And do it again. See? And turn our work. See, you can start to see it kind of starting to take shape. This is what it looks like when you flatten it out. Get on up there. And now we are at a knit around row. So we're going to pull it tight, loop it up and around. Knit straight on across. First start of the right, straight on till morning. we just keep repeating these 2 rows until we get back to, until we get the number that we need for the balls of the foot. The number of stitches that we need for the ball of the foot. Drop that one. Pull this one up a little bit so we don't lose our work. Stick this one down in. We are here now at this end, so because if we pull up our tail will tell us what end we're at. We're at this end, so we're at the beginning of another increase row. Knit front back again. Knit to the end. Well, 2 before the end. So we're going to increase down here. See how there's more stitches in between? That's what we want. And there we go. A boy stomping around in my living room because he's been about as good as he can do today. This is another increase row. The last half of the increase row. You're not coming out here and annoying Mom. Knit front back. Knit 2 before the end. Now remember, we started out with 12. So, I'm going to show you something here in just a minute. See, 2 before the end, we knit front back. Knit that one. And I'm going to show you something neato. We're going to count this. Okay? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. So we've already got 18 stitches on our needles. Me, from the size of the balls of my feet, I have to go to 32 stitches on a half round, which is across one needle. So 32 stitches across one needle. Quit. So yeah, we just keep going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth until we have all the stitches that we need. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this and finish this up so you guys can see what sock toes look like. Okay, so you can start to see after a few rows, you start getting the V shape and it starts to look like a sock toe. Okay, I'm on an increase row right now. So let's go ahead and do this increase row and I will show you what your sock toes should look like right before you start doing the body of the foot and the footbed. So knit front back. Knit on across to 2 before the end. Knit front back. Knit that last one. Turn your work. Knit front, knit one, knit front back, knit to the last two, get to this one, knit front back, and knit the next one, and then the next row would be a knit across row. All right, and look at that, that looks all pretty. This, don't mind my socks, they're my favorite thing in the entire world, is long socks. But once we get it all cast on, and up to where we need to start going straight, which is the widest part at the balls of the heel, at the balls of the foot, then we start going forward and going straight. No, forward. And you can see each time we've increased, we've got these little marks here that tells us how many times we've done it. So that way we know how many times we have to knit front back on the other sock. Now, there is such a thing as second sock syndrome, and I have it something awful. So next video is going to teach you how to knit 2 socks on the same cable at the same time. This gets rid of second sock syndrome. It's a little more time consuming, but it's worth it. Alright, see you back next time. If you like what you see, please subscribe. Alright, later y'all.